Welcome back, my seventh graders, and it's time to go ahead and work on our homework. Let me start with number one, where it says write the product using exponents. It says here we've got 11 times 11 times 11 times 11 times 11. That's 11 multiplied to itself 5 times. So we would write that as 11 to the fifth power, because that exponent means I'm going to multiply the base, which is 11, to itself 5 times. All right, you will do number two on your own. All right, evaluate the expression when x equals 2 and z equals -3. All right, so we have here, and I just noticed number 2 was a lot different than number 1. So I'm going to do this one, and if I see it in the future, then I'm going to leave it for you. This here would be 6 to the third power, because there's 3 6's multiplied to each other, and 3 to the second power, and then you would just show them multiplied to each other like that. All right? All right, let's go on to evaluate the expression when x is 2 and z is -3. If x is 2, then this is really -4 times 2. And a negative times a positive is a negative, and 4 times 2 would be 8, so that'd be a -8. All right, the others are for you to do. Let's go ahead and go to number 6. Find the area of this triangle. The area of a triangle, if you remember the formula correctly, a triangle is half of a rectangle. So, since a rectangle's formula is equal to length times width, a triangle's formula is equal to 1/2 of that, because there's 2 triangles in there. 1/2 the length times the width. All right, so let's go ahead and look for that. Some people might say 1/2 base times height. Okay, and that's probably a better way to put it. I'm going to go ahead and change it up to show base times height. But really, it's just what the bottom is multiplied to how tall it is. All right, so if we come over here, the base of this triangle is down here. I know that because the height is indicated by how high the point is, right? Not by the sides. So this is the height, and this is the base. And if that's so, then we've got, remember our formula is 1/2 times the base, that's 10, times the height, that's 31. All right, this is pretty easy. I know that anything times 10 is that same number with a 0 after it. So this is 1/2 of 310. Now I have to just say, what is 1/2 of 310? Well, I know 1/2 of 300 is 150, and I know 1/2 of 10 is 5. So I'm going to say this is 155. And we'll use the calculator just to make sure we're not making any mistakes. 310 divided by 2. 155. So the area of this triangle is going to be equal to 155. All right, let's move on. Write the expression in repeated multiplication form. This time we're doing the opposite of what we did before. So when we see, it says then write the expression as a power. So to write it as an expression in repeated multiplication form, this would be 5 multiplied to itself 6 times. So 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And that's 6 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's only 5, so one more. And then we're going to multiply 5 to itself 3 more times. So times 5 times 5 times 5. And what we see here is we actually have 5 multiplied to itself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So the answer to this is going to be 5 to the 9th power. All right? The expression in repeated multiplication form is here, and then write it as an expression of power would be right here. All right? In class, you guys would have noticed that this is actually 6 to the 4th power, and then we're doing that times 2. So when it comes to exponents to an exponent, we're going to go ahead and multiply them together. So this is really going to be 6 to the 4th power. So 6, sorry about that, 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. And then, since there's 2 of them, we're going to be multiplying this to another group of 6s. 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. All right, so now we have 6 multiplied to itself 4 times, multiplied to 6 multiplied to itself 4 times. So that's really 6 multiplied to itself 8 times, which goes with our rule. When exponent is to an exponent, we multiply these together. When we're just multiplying exponents together and the base is the same, we'll just add the exponents. I'm going to leave number 9 for you to do. So simplify the expressions, write your answer as a power. Well, that's exactly what we did over here for 7 and 8. So since I did so many of them for you before, I'm going to leave 10 for you, 11, 12, that 7 and 8 should be good examples of those, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 are all for you to do. I'm going to go down over here and look for number 19. Your friend wants to simplify the expression 5 to the 2nd power times 5 to the 9th power. Explain how your friend can complete his work. Well, they said 5 to the 2nd power times 5 to the 9th power equals 5. 5 what? Well, I would say that's going to be 5. Remember what we said, we add these together, 11th power. Okay? And if you wanted to explain it, you could say this is like 5 times itself twice times 5 times itself 9 times. Altogether, 5 is being multiplied to itself 11 times. All right, let's go to number 20. Find a product of power. Simplify the expression. Write your answer as a product of power. Now, a product of power means we have the power here that's applied to both of these, and it's the same. So all we're going to do is multiply these two numbers together and keep the power the same. So number 20 would be 24 to the 3rd power. Knowing this, we have to realize that when we have a product of power, simplifying the expression, and it says write your answer as a product of power, this answer then would be 6 times itself 3 times, times 4 multiplied to itself 3 times. You're going to see here how that works out. Watching the calculator, when I put 24 times itself 3 times, 24 times 24 times 24, that's going to equal 13,824. Now, watch this. I'm going to take 6 multiplied to itself 3 times, 6 times 6 times 6. And then I'm going to multiply it to 4 multiplied to itself 3 times, times 4 times 4 times 4. And look at that, 13,824. So you can see that the answer as a product of power is going to equal the 2 bases multiplied together. Our answer should be right here. Now, when we simplify this, we will turn this into 6 to the 3rd power multiplied to 4 to the 3rd power. And now we have our answer. Okay, so basically, we're taking this exponent and putting it on each one of these bases. All right, please do the same for 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Write your answer like we did right here. And I'm just going to highlight it because I know I did a lot of explanation there. I wanted you to get a good understanding of it, but I also want you to be able to go ahead and know the answer I'm looking for in class. Should be right here in the yellow. All right, 6 to the third power times 4 to the third power. All right, and do that to each one of these to get this answer here. All right, and if you want to, and you've got all these steps, just jump right there and put your answer in. 26 is 3 to the second power plus 3 to the second power, or third power. And they say equals 3 to the fifth power. Explain. Okay. Well, I'm not quite sure why they asked for an explanation. What it does say is this equal this. So that tells me right there, they're looking for a yes or no. I would go with no way. This is why 3 to the second power is 3 times 3, and that's 9. Plus 3 to the third power is 3 times 3 times 3, and that's 27. When I add these together, I'm going to get 36. But what is 3 to the fifth power? Well, 3 to the fifth power is actually 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And that's totally different because 3 times 3 is 9. And that means this 3 times 3 is 9. So what we really have is 9 times 9 times 3. 9 times 9 is 81, which is already a way bigger number than what we had up here. Now we have to multiply 81 to 3. Well, I know that 1 times 3 is 3, and 8 times 3 is 24. That's going to give me 243. As you can see, 3 to the fifth power is quite different than 3 to the second power plus 3 to the third power. So this is no, and this is our explanation. Let's go to number 27. Since I went ahead and did number 26, I'm going to let you try to do number 27. It's asking you to write a power of a product that represents the volume of the case. All right, remember the volume is going to be equal to, let's see, this is a case, a display case for the artifact shown is in the shape of a cube. Okay, each side of the display case is 3 times longer than the base length of the artifact. Okay, so each side is going to be 3 times longer. All right, and then the bases are. And you need to go ahead and write volume. Volume is going to be equal to big B times the height. Big B stands for whatever the formula is for the base. Since the base, it says the case, the display case for the artifact shown is in the shape of a cube. That means this is sitting in a case that's like a cube. Okay, and if it came out this way, then our cube would kind of look like that. Okay, and come like that. Now remember, this is sitting inside the case. So the case, it says each side of the display case is 3 times longer than the base length of the artifact. So each side of this case, okay, is 3 times longer than the base. What that tells me is this case isn't perfectly 4 inches, is it? Because it said each side is 3 times longer. So I'm going to have to retweak this. If it's 3 times longer than 4, then actually this case is going to be sitting kind of like this, right? And then it will come up, and it will be 3 times also, well, since it's a cube, it says, right? All the sides are the same. So if the base is 4, then, and it's 3 times bigger, then the case that's holding this thing has to be 3 times 4, right? Let's just picture it like this. So that artifact is sitting inside of here, like kind of like that. All right. And that means this has to be 12, this has to be 12, and this has to be 12. So now they're saying, what is the power product that represents the volume of the case? Well, 12 times 12 times 12, right? Because the base is going to be 12 by 12. If this is 12, that means this is 12 over here, right? So 12 times 12 is the base. And then when we multiply it to the height, that's also 12. That's 12 multiplied to itself 3 times. So that means 12 to the third power. What is the volume of the case? Well, that's 12 times 12 times 12, isn't it? So we'll just go 12. And we could simply take our button here on our calculator, press it, and then we'll put it to the third power, and that equals 1,728. 1,728. And when we're talking volume, remember, this is going to be cubed. So there are inches there, inch cubed. Now, as I'm looking at this, another way we could write 12 times 12 times 12, let's see here. It says, write a power product that represents the volume of the case. I'm thinking since they said the base of the artifact is 4, and they're saying it's 3 times longer than the base, that'd be 4 times 3. And then since we're multiplying for volume, we have to do it 3 times. We could also write this as 4 times 3 to the third power. So I'm trying to see which is the more correct way. Write a power of a product, and that means we want to go with this one here. This is the power of a product. Remember, product is a multiplication, right? A multiplication equation. That's 4 times 3. And then the power is outside of that, representing that it's going to be 4 to the third power and 3 to the third power. So this would be the correct answer, actually, because there is no power over here with 12 times 12 times 12. I could have wrote as 12 to the third, but it also says a product, and 12 is not a product, it's an answer. 4 times 3, that's a multiplication problem, so that's the product. So I'm going to go with this one here for A, and this one here for B. All right, you got number 28. I'm going to go to number 29 here. Real life, the lowest altitude of the altocumulus cloud, wow, okay, we're talking altitudes here, is about 3 to the 8th power feet. And I want to make sure that says to the 8th power. I'm just going to make this a little bigger. Let's see here. There we go. You should be able to see it just a little bit better now. Definitely 3 to the 8th power. The highest altitude of this cloud, altocumulus, is about 3 times the lowest altitude. Okay. What is the highest altitude of the altocumulus cloud? Write your answer as a power. Okay, wow. It says the lowest altitude is 3 to the 8th. Oops. Okay, we got that here. The highest altitude is about 3 times the lowest. So 3 times this would be 3 to the 8th. And then we would be, let's see, 3 times that. We're going to multiply this times 3. Now you might be thinking, okay, I guess this is where we put parentheses around here and then multiply it to 3. But this would be, this would not be multiplying this answer by 3. It would be multiplying it to the power of 3. So we're going to take this off and realize we're simply multiplying this by 3. Now remember, if 3 is by itself, it's like having 3 to the first power. And the rule says if my base is the same and my exponents are different, I can add the exponents. So this is kind of like saying 3 to the 8 plus 1. And that's going to give us 3 to the 9th power. All right. I'm going to let you do number 30. I guess I'll do number 31 for you. Real life, the United States Postal Service delivers about 2 to the 4th times 3 times 5 to the 3rd pieces of mail around each mail each second. There are 2 to the 4th times 3 to the 4th times 5 to the 2nd seconds in a 6 day in 6 days. How many pieces of mail does the United States Postal Service deliver in 6 days? Write your answer as an expression involving 3 powers. There's a big clue on how to do this now. 3 powers. So this is basically saying we're going to have to combine these, right? Because we're all multiplying these together. When I have 2 to the 4th times 3 to the 1st, looks like, times 5 to the 3rd, and then I'm multiplying all that to 2 to the 8th, 3 to the 4th, and 5 to the 2nd. Now I can realize I can use community property multiplication to go ahead and combine. We're going to move these numbers around. So I'm going to put 2 to the 4th over here, and I'm going to combine it with 2 to the 8th. Does everyone see? We took these two together, and we put them over here. All right, they're now gone. Now we're going to go with the 3's. We're going to multiply it to 3 times 3 to the 4th. 3 and 3 to the 4th. And then we're going to multiply 5 to the 3rd times 5 to the 2nd. We do this, we can combine these now with using our product property for powers. We're going to take 2 times 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 8th. That's going to equal 2. Remember, when our base is the same, we add the exponents, so that'll be 2 to the 12th. And 3, like 3 to the 1, right, times 3 to the 4th, that's 1 plus 4, so that'll be 3 to the 5th. And then 5 is the base here, and 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay? All right, so number 32 is yours. I will see you in class where we will grade the rest of these. Good luck with your problems, and well, have a great night.